Hey everyone, welcome back to Frostwork PE with you and me. Let's get right into our warm-up so we can get into today's lesson. Today's video off, we are going to start with 10 seconds of toe touches. Remember, have your feet together. You're gonna bend down, touch your toes without bending your knees. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next, we are going to do our arm stretches. Remember, bring your one arm across your body. Push that arm towards you with your free arm. All right, we're going to do 10 seconds each arm. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go ahead and switch arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Next, we're going to get into our high knees. Remember, have your hands steady at your waist. You're going to go like you're jogging in place, but you're going to bring your knees up to your hands. We're going to go for 10 seconds. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Now we're going to get in 10 air squats. Remember, when you're doing an air squat, it's kind of like you're going to sit down in a chair. You want to lean back on the back of your foot. You want to go down until your legs make the shape of the letter L, all right? We're going to do 10 of those. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Now we're going to get in 10 jumping jacks. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, now let's get into today's lesson. Today's lesson is going to be about the underhand throw. All right, for today's activities, you are going to need a ball, preferably a softer one. This one is super soft, or you could use a rolled up pair of socks like we have been using in the other videos. You will also need a variety of objects that you may have around the house. And then lastly, you're going to need a bucket or an empty trash can. With me, I have this small empty trash can that I will be using for the activities later. Now that we have everything we need for today's lesson, let's learn a little bit about the underhand throw. So the underhand throw is going to be a type of throw that you see in sports/games such as cornhole, bocce ball, softball, and even something like bowling. There are 4 cues or keys that we must remember when we perform this type of throw. All right, so these 4 keys will help you perform it well, and it helps you be accurate when you're performing it. And that's something we will talk about a little bit later. All right, the first key that you want to remember when performing the underhand throw is you always want to face your target. This will help you throw in the direction that you want to or need to, because it doesn't help if you're facing this way when I want to throw it to you, right? So you want to face your target. If I'm throwing to you, I'm facing you, and that will help you throw where you want to throw. The second key is going to be you're going to step towards your target with your opposite foot, okay? This means that if I am throwing with my right hand, I'm going to step towards my target with my left foot, all right? If I'm throwing with my left hand, I'm going to step towards my target with my right foot. And I will show you exactly what I mean by this a little bit later. But this will bring your momentum or your movement forward so that it can allow the different parts of your body to work together. Because if I'm not stepping forward, all the work comes from my arm when I throw, all right? So when I step forward, it helps bring my movement in the direction in which I want to throw. All right, the third key to the underhand throw is when you step with your opposite foot. Third key is bringing your arm back, swing your arm back, forward, and release. All right? So depending on where you are throwing or where your target is, will help you figure out where you need to let go as you're throwing. Okay, so depending on how far your target is or how close your target is, you want to release your object at different points. All right, so in most cases, you're going to release your ball or object just as you swing your arm past your body. All right, so when I'm doing an underhand throw, step, swing back, forward, and release, I might want to release my ball right here, just past my body, all right? So, step, swing back, forward, and release. And finally, the fourth key is to follow through, all right? So this means when I throw my ball or object, once I let go, I hold this pose right here until the ball hits my target. All right, so the fourth key is to follow through. Here's a demonstration first to show what our right-handed throwers should look like for the underhand throw, and then what our left-handed throwers should look like for the underhand throw. Remember, follow those 4 keys. Now that we know how to perform the underhand throw, let's talk a little bit about accuracy. Remember, I mentioned this word a little bit earlier in the video, okay? So in our case, accuracy is going to be how close we can get our object or ball to our target. And we want to think about this because most times when we go to throw something, and that can be the underhand throw or an overhand throw, we are throwing to someone or something. So we want to get it there, right? So far we've talked about the 4 keys to the underhand throw. Remember, the first one is face your target. The second one is using your opposite foot from your throwing hand to step towards your target. Okay, so if you're throwing with your right hand, you step towards your target with your left foot. If you are throwing with your left hand, you step towards your target with your right foot. Okay, the third one was the swinging motion. Remember, swing back, forward, and release just past your body, right? And then the fourth one was follow through that throwing motion, okay? Then we talked about accuracy, which is how close we can get our object or ball to our target. So now that we understand those 2 things, we are going to get into some activities or practice activities that you can do at home. And you can do them alone, or you can do them with a sibling, friend, or even a parent. Now that we have a good understanding of the underhand throw as well as accuracy, the first activity that we are going to do is just to help us practice that underhand throw motion so that we can become a little more familiar with it. All right, so go ahead and grab your bucket or empty trash can and your ball or pair of socks, whichever one you're using, and I will show you exactly what we are going to do with this equipment and exactly what our activity is going to be. First, you are going to place your bucket anywhere you please. Then, you are going to take 3 steps back from your bucket. This will be where you throw from. The goal is to throw your ball or pair of socks into the bucket 3 times. Not 3 times in a row, just 3 times. Once you do that, you're going to take another 3 steps back. You're going to see how far you can throw from while maintaining those 4 keys to the underhand throw that we discussed earlier in the video. A simple way to challenge yourself is to see how many you can make in a row at each of these spots. Hope you all enjoyed that first practice activity. It was only meant to be a simple way to familiarize yourself with the underhand throw motion, as well as a little bit of accuracy practice in there like we talked about before. For the second activity, you can play it by yourself or a friend, sibling, parent, anyone you please. It's super simple, something that you can do in the comfort of your own home. All you will need is your ball or pair of socks, whichever one you were using, and a bunch of objects, and I will show you exactly what I mean by that. For this activity, all you will need is a bunch of objects. In my case, I used a bunch of cat toys because I have 2 cats, so this was the easiest thing for me. Then you are going to have something to mark a throwing point. In my case, I have half a sheet of paper, which will mark where myself and my opponent will throw from. Here is the second activity for you all. This is a fun competition to practice the underhand throw, and there's a little bit of accuracy in there as well. Each person will have 30 seconds to gather as many objects as they can. Here we are throwing from the half sheet of paper. You're practicing that underhand throw. Every time you hit an object, you get to take it back to the throwing point. If you do not hit anything, you only get to bring back your ball or pair of socks. So you get those 30 seconds to hit as many objects as you can. You're going to then count how many objects you have, and then the second person will do the same. All right, everyone, that is going to be it for today's lesson. I hope you all enjoyed and I hope you all had fun. Just as a quick review, there were 4 keys to the underhand throw that we discussed today. The first one being face your target. The second one being stepping with your opposite foot to your throwing hand. So if you're throwing with your right hand, you step towards your target with your left foot. If you are throwing with your left hand, you step towards your target with your right foot. The third key was swing your arm back, forward, and release. And remember, you do not want to release your ball or object way up here, because if you do, it's going straight in the sky, okay? So you want to think about how close you are to your object and how far you are to your object, and that will help you understand where you need to release your ball, okay? The fourth key being follow through. So once you release your ball, you want to hold that position until your ball hits your target. We also talked about accuracy. Remember, in our case, accuracy was how close you can get your ball to your target. All right? So we practiced accuracy in our first practice activity as well as the second one. All right? So again, I hope you all enjoyed today's lesson. Stay tuned for next Friday's lesson on the overhand throw. All right, so we talked about underhand. Next, we'll be talking about overhand.